Excuse me. Gotta get my voice here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We got breaking news. What's up, everyone? Just want to do a quick BRAP rant regarding. Well, first of all, I hope everyone had a great weekend. By the way, my weekend was fun, filled with lots of well, not really a whole lot of gaming because it was kind of a busy weekend with sports and stuff. But did get to run some Fortnite on Friday. But yeah, did do a lot of gaming actually. So. Gotta make that up this week. Gotta get some more gaming in. So, hey, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. I see some familiar faces there. What's up, NV Dub, J Destroyer, Jeff B Gaming, AB, as well. And yeah, so look, we got a lot to talk about here. We have some news around. I can't even talk. Haven't had enough coffee today. We have some news. As it relates to some leadership changes at 343i Studios. Now, I'm sure most of you know, give me just a second here. All right. Sorry about that. Had to adjust some things quickly. So as many of you probably heard already, Bonnie Ross, who has been with, Xbox for like 3 decades roughly. She's been with Microsoft Studios for a very long time. She's actually leaving. She's leaving 343 Industries and Xbox altogether. So this is kind of a release from Microsoft after more than 28 years in gaming at Microsoft, including 15 years leading 343i Industries in Halo through its most ambitious steps forward. Bonnie Ross will be leaving Microsoft and spending more time with her family. We're thankful for her leadership of 343i, during which the team launched Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo the Master Chief Collection, the Halo television series, and Halo Infinite. We wish her all the best. Head of production, Pierre Hintz, will become studio head effective immediately. The 343 team is hard at working, shipping the winter update, the biggest Halo Infinite update since launch. So, so that was the release. Now, Bonnie Ross did take to Twitter. She did mention that. Let me just pull up her tweet here real quick. So here's Bonnie's tweet. She says, while I had hoped to stay with Halo until we release the winter update, I'm letting you know that I will be leaving 343 and attending to a family medical issue. So she's leaving for some family, some personal issue or personal reasons, family related. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, although I'd say hopefully, but I would imagine that it probably is if it's causing her to step down from her position. So hopefully everything works out there on the family front for her. She says, I'm incredibly proud of the work everyone at 343 Industries has done with Halo Infinite, the Master Chief Collection, the Halo television series, and so much more. It's been an honor to serve alongside the team for the last 15 years and to be a part of a universe that I love. Thank you to everyone in the Halo community for your support. Halo's future is bright. I cannot wait for all of you to experience what we have in store and to cheer alongside you as a fan at the Halo World Championship in October. Axios Bonnie Ross. So that was Bonnie's tweet. So what's interesting is they're actually, with Bonnie's role now, with Bonnie being gone, they are actually going to split her role into 3 separate roles now. So as I mentioned, Pierre, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Hintz, maybe, will be take over as studio head immediately. Brian Koski will become the GM of franchise, and Elizabeth Van Wyck will oversee business and operations. So they've taken one position and turned it to 3. Hey, Ice Queen Gaming, what's going on? So that is. So, this is one, stepping down is huge news for, this is big news. She's been with 343i for many, many years, has been with Microsoft for a better part of 28 years. Almost half of her time has been with 343i. So, again, hopefully everything is okay on the family front, gets worked out, but it's interesting that they're splitting up her position into 3 parts. And I think part of that is perhaps they're looking to, And actually, a big shout out to Hamp, who brought this up in the BRAP DM. He said that he believes that splitting the time up with 3 ways would be a good move to ensure you don't run into a single point of failure again, and that's a reference to some of the issues with Halo Infinite. And I've seen some people thinking that maybe this may help with changing things with the Halo franchise. We'll see. I think that clearly there's been, look, as we're all aware that there have been development issues with Halo Infinite in particular. The game has struggled. The game has fallen out of even popularity, I would argue, with the Xbox fan base. I mean, it's not even in the top 10 games played right now. Even though, the multiplayer, I mean, if you look at Halo historically, when I used to play Halo 1, 2, and 3, those games were, played, the multiplayer was played quite a bit. Now, I understand that there's more multiplayer games on the market now, but this is Halo. It's the tentpole for Microsoft. It's the franchise that they're known about. So, I don't know, Biggie Butters. That's a interesting question. I don't know why she was, could be that she was delegating things to other people in the studio. I don't know though why, but I do think that that's probably something. Probably something she was. Like I said, probably something she may have been delegating, and then now that she's stepping down, it's probably they probably felt like this is the best decision, or the best way to move forward, to split her position into 3 different ways, and that would potentially mean that you have 3 individuals that can solely focus on whatever is their main responsibility is. I know that in seeing restructuring of teams, leadership, I've seen this in my own personal life, a career, where you may have someone that's responsible for so many different things and wearing multiple different hats, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense to have that person wearing multiple hats because they're not as efficient as they could be. Things maybe slip through the cracks because they're managing so many different things. And so then you take that responsibility and you split it up, maybe create new positions to have those individuals solely focus on that particular discipline that they're or focus on the responsibilities that they have at hand for that particular position. So, I mean, this is again, this is big news. I mean, she has been synonymous with 343i leadership. We haven't heard much from Frank O'Connor. I'm not even sure if he's still. I'd have to confirm this, but I'd read on Twitter, and again, I shouldn't use Twitter as a source, but I did read, and I have to look this up unless somebody in the live chat knows. I think he's been on leave from 343i. That's what I heard. So who knows where he is, but I haven't heard anything from him in quite some time, but I'll have to get some confirmation from that. I don't know if my good buddy OBM's listening right now, one bad mother, but if you are OBM, if you could kind of confirm Frank's situation right now with 343i. But look, I think that this obviously, unfortunately, Bonnie had to step down for personal reasons. That's unfortunate. Family, medical reasons. That's very unfortunate. And again, wish her and her family the best. But, this is a forced change now. And it's going to be interesting to see how this change maybe impacts, Halo Infinite in the future. I mean, Halo, look, I'm not going to say that the game is can't ever bounce back, because we do have examples of games that have come back from what we perceived as failures or being dead, if you will. Okay, what's up, OBM? Frank works on the media side of 343. Hasn't been on the game for a while. Okay, I appreciate that, OBM, for you clarifying that up. But look, Sea of Thieves didn't have a great launch, and that's a pretty successful game for Microsoft from an engagement perspective. MV Dub just mentioned No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky had a very rough launch, and Hello Games kind of buried their head in the sand and went to work, and they have since created quite the game now. And so, and that could happen with Halo. It could very well happen to Halo, but on the flip side, it could also not happen to Halo. Hopefully it does. I mean, I hope that, with some of the, with Staten coming back, and him bringing back some other. I forget the individual he brought back that had worked with him on some previous Halo games when during the time that Bungie was working on Halo. And then we got Forge coming November, so that's going to be interesting how that's received. I think Forge is nice because it adds some additional content from a multiplayer perspective, using with the. But I do think that. I really think that Forge is going to really resonate very well, I think, with the PC community, because PC community very big in modding, and remember Counter-Strike was a byproduct of now I forget. Counter-Strike came about of PC mod from was it Half-Life maybe? Jeez, I can't remember. But anyhow, so PC community, that's kind of their thing, kind of up their alley, if you will. So I think that we could probably see some. It wouldn't surprise me, at least, if we saw a lot of traction with Forge, more particularly in the PC community, maybe in the console side. Not to say that people won't be interested in the console side of things. I think they will, but I think if you were to ask me where do I think the most engagement will be in Forge, I would probably venture to say that PC, just given that that kind of feature set seems to be kind of right up the alley of PC gamers, but. Yeah, Bartone, thank you for that, OBM. Certain Infinity is also a big part of multiplayer, who's led by Huberman, father of the Halo multiplayer. Yes, that is great, OBM. OBM, if you want to join, man, if you want to hop in, you are big Halo fan and just have a lot of tremendous insight into Halo. Generally speaking, if you want to hop in, just jump into the Discord. But look, as a fan, I want to see this game return to. No worries, OBM. Certainly appreciate you coming through, OBM. Dude, I've been talking to you forever. I feel like have to catch up sometime soon. But look, as a fan of Halo, I want to see the franchise return to its glory. I know people are like, well, why do you care? Well, because I'm a fan of the franchise. It's a good game. I mean, like I've said this before, the shooting mechanics, gameplay mechanics, multiplayer are solid. The problem is it just doesn't have enough content. And this game, I think, as a live service game, is going to live and die on content, and they just haven't really pushed out a lot of new content. And it's kind of disappointing to me the way that the way they launched this game. Slow-mo backslap on BRAP was arguing for quite some time that this game should have been delayed even longer than a year. But Microsoft had other plans and didn't want to delay the game another year, and here we are. I don't like, part of the concern that I have with live services games like this is that they release and they can release missing content and having issues, and if a studio has enough resources, they can kind of take time or have some additional time to work on things, and and then maybe deliver a better product down the road. But I as a fan of something, or as a consumer, as a gamer, I'd rather not wait for that. Fallout 76 is another great example. Fallout 76 is much improved compared to when it launched, and that had development issues too. I just have some concerns over live services games like Fallout 76 and No Man's Sky, having those games launch with issues and then having to wait for those games to get better. I particularly don't care for that because my time is valuable, and I don't have the time to. Or don't always go back. I didn't go back to Fallout 76. I didn't, my time is valuable. I just don't, I really want those games to launch, as best as possible. So like OBM says, in hindsight, it should have been delayed. The rewritten engine isn't mature. New employees taking longer to get trained since it's a priority. Lots of tech debt they're prioritizing to unravel. I get all that, OBM. It's a great point. I completely understand. But as a fan, I hope this game turns around. I hope that Staten and Company can turn this game around, can deliver some really good content on a regular basis, with some really good multiplayer maps, multiplayer content, some good story content too. I didn't really care for the campaign for Halo Infinite. It just didn't resonate much with me. I didn't care for the I mean, I have something to look for them to the open world concept of what they're trying to do. I didn't think I don't know how to describe. So it for them to kind of do what they did with kind of introducing a kind of like a Far Cry version of Halo, I guess is probably the way I would describe it. I mean, they kind of executed that, but it just didn't really resonate with me. Like I didn't care for it. Master Chief just seemed, I don't know, I just didn't really feel excited to play him. I guess it just, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel like a compelling experience. I know one talks about the sandbox, but it's like that's fine, but it just wasn't compelling to me. Not like other previous Halos, like when I think of Halo Reach or Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 1, Halo 4. I don't know. It just didn't really resonate with me. So, but where I thought they knocked out of the park was in Halo Infinite was with their multiplayer. So for me as a Halo fan, I'm more focused on multiplayer. If the campaign is kind of like an afterthought for me, like if they come back and they release some really good campaign, some new campaign DLC, yeah, that's cool. If it's good, I'll play it. But I certainly I see people are speculating that Bonnie might end up at Sony Bungie. I don't know. I don't think she's going to go back to Bungie. Who knows? I don't want to speculate. She's obviously clearly taking time off to address a family matter, which is most important here, and Envy Dub, I would agree with you. Halo 1, 2, and 3 had some of the best single player campaigns of any shooter game. Yeah. Because it wasn't just shooting. There was a story behind it. It was compelling. So it's just like, and it's going to be interesting if Microsoft can kind of recapture, because I haven't looked at the concurrent player base for or concurrent players on Steam, but last time I checked, I think it was at like 6,000 concurrent players for Halo Infinite multiplayer. Like, that's crazy to me. It's Halo. If you would have told me that 20-something years ago, if you would have said Halo's going to be in this shape, I would have laughed. No, you're crazy. You're talking crazy. It just, I don't, I mean, yeah, OBM says new engine is important with Forge. It is. It absolutely is. I agree with you, but that's all. I mean, that's great. I hope it just translates into some really great, entertaining gameplay, and content that's actually fun to play. And I think it will. I think Forge will. But again, I think it's going to be more on the PC side of things, where you're going to see probably PC gamers. Given what they've done with previous mods of games and adding creating things like Counter-Strike, things like that. I mean, I think I think that that it's going to resonate with that particular group of gamers, but no, I just. To me, it's and somebody mentioned Far Cry had stealth mechanics. Yeah, when I meant Far Cry, I meant like in terms of like how you approach different areas of the map, take over bases, things like that, like you kind of do in Far Cry. Obviously, Far Cry had stealth, but like one of the complaints that I had about Halo Infinite campaign, beautiful world, but just it felt so dead. It felt like didn't feel like alive, and I don't know. It just maybe it's me. Maybe I have Halo fatigue. I don't know, but it just like it just wasn't. It wasn't a compelling experience. There were certain parts where, the music kicks in, da 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 da. It's like, okay, cool. You're fighting and stuff like that, but it just didn't. It just felt empty. It felt repetitive to me. It just didn't feel like a compelling experience. There were parts of it that I liked. I mean, um, the opening cutscene, seeing Master Chief get his ass kicked, that was cool. That was cool. I kind of dig that cutscene, but again, it wasn't compelling. So I would have see some compelling campaign DLC, more multiplayer maps. I'd actually like to be able to filter out maps that I don't want to play, as opposed to being forced to play those maps. That would be a nice quality of life improvement. But I mean, they are. But I'm wondering, even with Forge and as they kind of go down this path, and we start getting more content on a regular basis, I guess my question is, can they come back? Can they come back the way Fallout 76 did to an extent? Now, obviously, those are new franchises. Like Fallout 76 the Fallout franchise isn't a new IP, but the live service version of that game is similar to Halo Infinite. But I would argue that Halo as a IP is bigger than Fallout. So I would hope that maybe, some of those fans some of those fans come back, and I hope that this game kind of rebounds and 343i is ready to turn that ship around. I don't have any, I'm not saying that, I don't have any misconceptions that this is going to take time for them to turn things around. But I wonder if they're going to be able to get the player base back. I mean, Halo Infinite actually sold pretty well. I think it sold 6 million copies, if I'm not mistaken. So it did pretty well retail, which is great. But I wonder if it's too little too late. I wonder if they need a battle royale mode. That's something that I know OBM and I've talked about that a lot, and apparently that's something that's in the works. But I mean, does Halo need a battle royale mode to compete? I mean, what does everyone in the live chat think? Like, does Halo need a battle royale? Zeke says they don't need a battle royale. I think they do. Oh, hey, Dawn. I can't imagine. I know that's supposed to be hard. So enjoy your time with your family, Dawn. Just remember that. Enjoy your time with the family that you have. But I hear you. No, I hear you. Let's see here. Pros ran Halo Infinite had 20 million players during the Halo multiplayer beta. I don't think we'll ever have those numbers again. Yeah, they mentioned that 20 million people had played it. But I don't think we got any additional, like, what does that mean, 20 million? I don't think we got like a deep dive to what those actually numbers mean. Is that like people tried it for a minute, or like what does that mean, like 20 million? But yeah, they did mention 20 million people had played Halo Infinite. But well, Bender Strings, the Decima engine is pure wizardry. But yeah, look, but again, I wonder, like, if it needs a battle royale mode. I think it does. I think that I think that well, yeah, there's the desync is an issue, Zeke. I don't disagree with you there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, OBM, I hear you. They had a lot of internal issues, hamstrung by policies, release dates, outsourcing headcount. I get it, but at the end of the day, as a consumer, not my problem. I get those things happen, but like I said, as a consumer, that's not my problem. I want a complete Halo game. I want a Halo game with a compelling campaign, which I don't think this one had. I want, and I'm not totally giving up on the franchise. I enjoy the multiplayer. I thought the multiplayer was the best part of Halo Infinite experience. But I'm wondering if maybe Battle Royale would be kind of that jolt, that adrenaline jolt. that kind of revitalized the franchise. I mean, imagine Halo Infinite, like with Battle Royale. I think people would play it. I think that the appeal to Battle Royale is that it's a dynamic experience. You know, and it's never been done with Halo. I think that given this the Halo brand, I think that that if you throw Battle Royale mode, it might raise some eyebrows. Oh, wait a minute, Halo's got. Imagine that for a second. Halo's got a Battle Royale. What? I'm going to go back and try it out. I'm going to try it out because it's a Battle Royale. It's never been done on a Halo franchise before. I'm going to try it out. I think some people would come back and try it out. Now, hopefully, it's good, but I think it would. I think it could do more. I don't think it could hurt, or would hurt for them to do that, because it's something different than what Halo's done. You know, and it could bring some people back and introduce some new people to the series. But it's just as a fan of the franchise, though, it's just yeah, no, I agree with you, OBM. OBM says Halo can come back in quality. Yeah, I would agree with that. Whether the base comebacks is up for debate, that's I would agree with that too, man. I would agree with that. That's the thing. Is it too little, too late? And you know, there's a lot of competition now. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition in the space now for time, and you know, there's games with great battle royales. There's games that have and OBM. I don't know. I think maybe it was you, but I thought I heard somewhere that battle royale was actually kind of in the works behind the scenes. Maybe that wasn't you, but I did hear that. That battle royale was in the works for Halo Infinite, but further down the road. By certain Infinity, okay. Well, yeah, Zeke, I would agree with you. They need to make it a little bit different than other battle royales. But I mean, look, I having played PUBG and Warzone and Fortnite. I mean, yeah, there's certain things that are different from those battle royales, but at the end of the day, they're battle royale games. I mean, it's still a very similar experience. I mean, outside of Fortnite, which, you know, the meta there is buying skins and you know, emotes and stuff, and you know, that's kind of the believe it or not, at least for me, it's a big appeal. You'd be surprised, like when those new skins drop, it's like, oh, I got to get that new skin, or I got to get that new emote. You know, but no, I think NVW, I think Halo Infinite would stand out because it's Halo. It's a big name. I mean, look what Call of Duty came on the scene with Warzone. It was Call of Duty. I mean, they had the Call of Duty brand. You know, so but again, I think this is going to be a long process for 343i. Let's see, Battle Royale without class of skills are all too similar. Yeah, I would agree with that. But again, it's Halo. And I think there's power in that brand. I think people now whether or not people stick around if there's a battle royale, a different conversation. But I think, in my opinion, that it would be like it would be a jolt to the franchise. I think you would get some people back. Jeppy Gaming says casuals don't care about Halo anymore. BRAP, it's a dinosaur of a game. I don't know. You know, there's a thing called Call of Duty now, and Halo's heyday, they were the multiplayer, you know, first-person shooter, and COD came out. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that, but yeah, Bender of Strings says third-person single-player story-driven Halo game would be very compelling to me. Yeah, I somebody did a someone did like a what is that? Is it Dreams, the Sony game where you can create games? I think someone used that to create a third person like Halo game, and it actually looked pretty fucking cool. That I would actually get down with, because that would change the dynamics of the game. Yeah, I would definitely get down with that. But look, I want to see Halo. I want to see Halo be great again. Make Halo great again. What's that? Not MAGA. That's Maha. No. Maha. I don't know. I can't pronounce. Anyhow. Make Halo great again. But it's gonna be a long road. I definitely think it's gonna be a long road. We'll see if they can turn it around, and I hope they do, because it's a pillar. It's a pillar of the industry. It's a pillar temple franchise for Microsoft. It's what got Microsoft to the dance. I mean, I always said this. Imagine a bad Mario game. Imagine a bad Last of Us game. And the optics of Microsoft's handling, or 343i's handling of this iconic franchise, isn't good. Now, do those optics matter? Maybe not. Maybe not in the grand scheme of things, to a larger consumer base. Maybe not. But the optics are nonetheless still there. Yeah, I would say kind of a compelling progression system, and that's the other challenging thing too. The way the Spartans weren't really created per se to have different armor enhancements like the way you do in, let's say, Destiny. Like, you can't really tweak the armor so much where it completely changes the idea of the Spartan armor. I mean, make it open world where you can explore the entire Halo ring. I don't know. That might, I don't know, but isn't that kind of what you're doing now? Yeah, exploring the whole, Halo world, but I don't know. Slow-mo Backslap always has this thing. He says that when developers talk about 10-year games, that they typically don't work out, and he's got some examples of games where that happened. I think I forget the name. I'm sorry, I forget the name of the games that he mentioned. Yeah, scrap the season pass progression system. Yeah, it's still, it's better than what it was at launch, but it's still not where it needs to be. Yeah, the Spartan armor needs redone. Yeah, I look at when I would get the upgrades for playing multiplayer for the Spartan armors. It's like they didn't look cool to me. Some of the armor sets look ashy. Actually, I had bought a armor DLC pack with one of the I think it was one of the teams, one of the clans that plays at the Halo World Championships, and I forget who it was, but that to me was the best armor set. Yeah, I think modders could make. Zeke says, I bet modders could make Halo better than 343i. I think the modders might make some cool armor sets. I could see that. So one of the things, and I do need to wrap up this quick rant. Regarding this breaking news with Bonnie Ross stepping down from 343i. One of the things we're going to talk about on Wednesday. One of the things we're talking about Wednesday on BRAP is if Microsoft needs to keep Call of Duty multiplayer multi-plat. Can they afford to take multiplayer COD off of PlayStation? So we're going to talk about that on Wednesday, because that's actually been a topic or something that I've been hearing chatter about more recently. So I'd actually like to see Infinite merge with Master Chief Collection. That'd be cool. A lot of content. Bring some of those maps up to speed. Maybe they should do like a remake. Well, they can't do that now. Like a complete remake. Well, no, they won't do a remake. That'd probably take up too many resources. I see. Dark Zone 5 says Microsoft don't need Sony. Well, sir, I'll give you a little preview of the show Wednesday. If you're saying that, then you're saying that a multiplayer games, are you taking into account that multiplayer games live and die on their player base? And what happens when you effectively remove the majority of the player base by taking away multiplayer from that platform where the majority of player base plays? So that's going to be interesting. And that's going to be the conversation, because you would be fragmented. Can COD live off a fragmented player base if they remove the multiplayer from other platforms? So that's what we're going to talk about Wednesday. Dark said most of them guys will just move to PC and Xbox. I'm sure some people will move to PC and Xbox, but will 60% of those people? I think it's a 60-40 split. I have to look that up. But let's just say, for argument's sake here, Dark Zone, majority of the people are playing the game on PlayStation and playing it on playing the multiplayer on PlayStation. Are you assuming that a majority of those people, Dark Zone, are going to move to PC and Xbox? You're assuming that they're going to want to spend $300, $500 on maybe a platform they don't already own. You mentioned PC, so they're probably going to spend more than $300, $500. I mean, that's the question. And so we're going to talk about that on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, but yeah, let's, this is big news for 343i. Obviously want, best wishes to Bonnie and her family, and, with the Halo Infinite, I'm hoping they can turn this thing around. Like I said, I'm a fan of the franchise. Just very disappointed with how they've handled this iteration of Halo. Maybe they can change things around. And if they do, hopefully it's for the better. Hopefully things turn around. It's the better. I start getting some compelling campaign content and some more great multiplayer content. They nailed the multiplayer down. But that campaign, woo. That's what I want to see, some compelling Halo campaign content. That's what I want. That's what BRAP wants. So, but do me a favor, everyone, hit that like button. We have about 70-something people watching. Please hit that like button, and let me know in the comment section below if you're someone who's listening later, or if you're in the live chat. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think 343i can ultimately turn Halo Infinite around the way Hello Games did with No Man's Sky, and the way Rare did with Sea of Thieves? Let me know. I'd be interested to see what you guys think in the comment section below. So, yeah, Zeke, that's a great point, man. The characters in the books, that's what I'm saying. Zeke, they have so much stuff, so much content, so much lore. Yeah, there was a human in the books that joined the Banished that never made it to the game. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine an origin story of Master Chief. We know about what happened to them when they were kids. Imagine that. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of compelling stuff that I want to see. I mean, look, Atriox is cool. Don't get me wrong. Atriox was a great antagonist. But, I think if Reach taught us anything, that you could still have a very compelling Halo game without Master Chief. And that goes back to my campaign of Kill Master Chief that I went on 2 years ago. Too bad Ryan Landis isn't in the chat. He would have brought that up. That's a great point, Zeke. We don't know where they are. But I think a cool origin story. And they could pull lore from some of the books. It's yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But, again, it's going to be a long road, and hopefully they can turn things around. I like I said, I'm a fan of Halo. I want to see a good Halo game. Like I said, they nailed down the multiplayer. Although some of the armor sets, progression system, that still needs to be improved. The desyncing. I don't know if that's. I'm assuming that's still an issue. That needs to be addressed in multiplayer. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. It'd be a shame if they don't turn the ship around with this franchise. We'll look back at it and be like, damn, remember Halo? So, anyhow, look, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming by, hanging out with me this afternoon for this quick rant of rants. Please do me a favor. If you're new, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live, and also hit the like button so you're alerted when we go live. And remember, we go live. BRAP will be live this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about Call of Duty this on Wednesday, whether or not Microsoft or Xbox whether or not Xbox needs to keep Call of Duty exclusive. Or, no, I should say exclusive. Whether or not Call of Duty... I can't even talk. I haven't had enough coffee today. Whether or not Xbox should keep Call of Duty multiplat on PlayStation. Do they need to? That's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely come out, hanging out with us then. But look, everyone, appreciate it. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And we will catch you next time. Thank you.